Hi, I'm Cindy McNair, a Managing Associate in the Sydney Disputes and Investigations team at Allens. I have worked across a number of jurisdictions on anti-bribery matters. In this session of the series, I'll discuss a second key element of effective anti-bribery and corruption compliance: board and senior management dedication to anti-bribery. A business's board of directors and senior management have a fundamental role to play in anti-bribery and corruption compliance, no matter the size of the business. They are responsible for establishing and maintaining the business's governance structure, its risk appetite, and risk management framework. They are also best positioned to define the culture, ethics, and values of a business. To put it another way, employees are formally and informally guided by the board and senior management, and if leadership are seen to be taking anti-bribery matters seriously, so too will staff. To do this, boards and senior managers should take a few key steps. The first is to allocate clear responsibilities for anti-bribery and corruption compliance, including establishing clear reporting lines and systems to ensure that potentially material issues are escalated early and often. A second is to ensure that relevant teams have sufficient resources and the appropriate expertise to effectively maintain compliance with anti-bribery and corruption policies and to investigate potential issues and incidents. A third is to oversee the company's risk management framework and risk assessment processes, understand the outcomes of those processes, and ensure that the business's anti-bribery corruption systems are responsive to risk assessment findings. And a fourth is to endorse a written anti-bribery and corruption policy that is robust, accessible, and establishes a zero-tolerance approach to bribery and corruption. It is worth drilling down on these last 2 points in particular. History and experience has shown us that establishing and embedding a 3 lines of defense risk management framework with multiple layers of assurance is what enables there to be objective, independent assessment of risks and controls and high-quality reporting of material findings to the board and senior management, which then allows the board and senior management to make informed decisions about the actions a company should take or any changes to be made. The board and senior management should take active steps to ensure that this occurs. At a very high level, this involves line 1, the frontline business, taking ownership and being responsible for the risks they introduce, which include bribery and corruption risk, and that there is independent assurance in the first line to ensure the business is managing that risk responsibly. The second line, which is usually the risk and compliance function, provides objective review, challenge, oversight, and monitoring of the risk, and sign off on all material risk decisions. And finally, the third line, which usually consists of internal audit, provides yet another layer of assurance, testing the policies, procedures, controls that are appropriate and are working as described, as intended by the first 2 lines, and to report on their findings. Each of these lines operate as a check and balance on the others and helps to ensure that the reporting to the board and senior management gives a complete and accurate picture of the performance of an organization's risk framework, systems and controls, and any material issues. With respect to the anti-bribery policy, effective policies often contain commitments to conducting periodic risk assessments, clearly explain the processes a business has in place to mitigate bribery and corruption risks like due diligence processes and processes for the pre-approval and recording of gifts and entertainment, and set out employees' anti-bribery training and obligations, and clearly explain when and how employees should raise concerns about potential bribery and corruption incidents. Perhaps just as importantly is measuring how the employees in the organisations live and breathe the policy day to day. More and more regulators are testing the effectiveness of a company's culture and policies by asking how a company's policies are understood and implemented by the most junior employee in the organisation. Put another way, can your junior employees explain what this policy means in practice and how they live by it? Finally, it is important for boards and senior managers to bear in mind that anti-bribery and corruption compliance controls need to continuously evolve and improve. Once controls are in place, the board and senior management should oversee anti-bribery compliance by receiving periodic updates on the performance of anti-bribery compliance systems and overseeing the response to any policy breaches. I hope that this provides a useful guide to the role of the board and senior management in anti-bribery and corruption compliance. The key takeaway is that board members and senior managers have a critical role to play in establishing and maintaining anti-bribery compliance systems and a culture of compliance, and that they should be engaged with this topic on an ongoing basis.